everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the popular YA series I have never read. Now, some of these I might read, some of these I will never read. And there are a few that I will mention probably throughout that I've read like 1 or 2 books of and might not ever read ever. But this is a video about exactly what I said before, the popular YA series that I've never read. So let's just get into it. So some of these I own, but most of these I'm just going to be going off of a little bit of phone and technology. So let's just kind of scatter them through. We'll start off with a bang, shall we? I have never read the Cruel Prince trilogy. I get waves of wanting to, and then waves of being like, no, never, ever, ever will I read this. So it's a possibility that one day I might for a video, but I'm not interested in it. I don't know, that whole fairy and fae vibes and trend that's been going on for a fairly long time on the book internet and in YA literature is not my favorite. I don't know why, I just don't like them. It has the same flavor as like vampires to me, which is so weird because like if you give me a vampire like Dracula, I will adore it. But if you give me a vampire like Edward, I will throw it out the window. Like, not a fan. So, fairies, I'm not interested in them. I guess while we're talking about fae, we should just kind of go right into Sarah J. Maas, shouldn't we? Well, I have read the first book of this series, but I don't ever plan on finishing it. And that is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I have read this one, ACOTAR, but I have never read the other two, and I don't plan on it. It's not like I didn't enjoy this one. It was okay. It's just, I just don't really vibe with Sarah J. Maas's writing. I don't really vibe with the super sexualness to it because it is marketed as YA. It's fine. We're not going to go into this discussion right now. But on this same vein, I have never read the Throne of Glass series either, and I don't want to read this one. I have no interest in it. I did at the beginning of book 2 because I didn't really know what it was about. I didn't really have any vibes with Sarah J. Maas's writing, and I'm just not interested in it. So the next one I'm going to talk about is actually one that I'm interested in because it is a like OG type of YA fantasy, and I've been in the mood for those OG YA fantasies, and this is The Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. I have heard very little about this one, but I know it's beloved across like the book internet and has been around for a long time. And I know Morgan Rhodes has other series branching off of this, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, this one I'm interested in, maybe possibly picking up one day because it's got that vibe that I really like, the classic YA fantasy. On that same vein of will probably read someday, I have Warcross by Marie Lu, and if you guys know on my channel, I love Marie Lu. I've only read one of her books, so I am determined to read more of them because I want her to be a favorite author of mine, just because of Kingdom of Back. But I cannot say she's a favorite author of mine without reading more than just one book of hers. So I do plan on reading Warcross very soon for a video of mine. But on this same vein, I also haven't read Legend by Marie Lu, that really popular series. I do have this one downstairs. I just forgot to pick it up and too lazy to go get it. But yes, both of these by Marie Lu. Would love to get to one day, and they're very popular on book 2. Should I be telling you what these series are about? Or like, are we okay with me not saying what they're about? Because we kind of know what they're about. And we know I'm terrible at describing books anyway, so we're just gonna leave it there. Let's dive a little bit into the backlist of YA literature, just a smidge. I have never read the Bloodlines YA series. This is the spin-off of the Vampire Academy series, which I did read and really did love when I read it in high school. Bloodlines? Never gonna read it. Not interested. It's that kind of fantasy that I used to love in high school that I just don't really want to get back into. I was really into like the PC Cast kind of vampiric House of Night series and of course the Vampire Academy series, but like as I said earlier in this video, I don't really like vampires that much. And this is the kind of YA that I'm not a fan of. Like as I said, I really like that like classic YA fantasy, but this is a little bit too angsty for me. But yeah, no, we'll never read this series. And another backlist that I have never read and never ever will is the Selection series by Kiera Cass. Never was interested in it in high school. I remember seeing it on the shelves and seeing the girl on the cover with like the princess dress. Don't like it. And I was just like, I was like, oh, what is that? And you know, teenagers, but I never ended up picking it up even though a lot of people really, really love it. And now I just never ever will. There's so many other books out there that I want to read, but yeah, never read this series. Kind of moving back into the more modern, there's really no rhyme or reason to this video at all. I have never read the Theilluminae trilogy. Don't kill me. I tried to read this once and I just couldn't get into it. The mixed media is something that I really have to wrap my head around. I do want to try again because so many people absolutely love this book, but I just have not read it. And I don't really know when I will, but I do have it on my shelves, so one day I will try. And I know all of you are screaming at me right now, Jenna, you're gonna love it, read it. And I'm like, yeah, I've tried. But yeah, it's fine. I just have to wrap my head around the multimedia kind of storytelling because I just, it's difficult to wrap my head around. My brain doesn't like it that much, but hopefully one day I will get to this. Another really popular trilogy is the Cavall Trilogy. I don't know if I will ever read this. It might be on the same lines as Cruel Prince. Like, it's a maybe for video maybe one day. I'm just not going to go out of my way to read it. I'm just not super interested in it. Circuses don't really interest me a whole lot. I know the Night Circus was good and I really, really enjoyed that one. But I didn't go in it for the circus. I went in it because Erin Morgenstern's one of my favorite authors. So that's the reason why I went into it. But don't know if I will ever read this one. But I'm not going to say no because this would be a video one day if I ever really wanted to. Another one that I am interested in reading because I absolutely adored her standalone fantasy that she wrote, but that is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have not read this. It is incredibly popular, but I really want to read it. I have tried to read it. I actually have my bookmark still in here. It's a paperclip, don't hate me. I got about that far in, and I think life just got in the way, like university and stuff, but I would really like to try it again and keep going with it because I do really, like, I think it's gonna be like a 7-book series or something, so we got a long way to go, and people absolutely love this one. So this is one that I'm willing to try and will try very soon. And the last one that I actually own physically, or well, there's one more that I will talk about, but I have read one of those books. But this one is another one that I do want to read, and soon, because I've talked about it now in 2 of my videos recently, and that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is a hugely popular YA series on BookTube and the book internet, and I cannot wait to give it a try again. I tried once, but last October was just a wild ride, but I cannot wait to read this and love it and fall in love with the series. And it's like that got that creepy vibe, but it's so beautiful. It just wants to be shown. But yes, this is another one of those classic BookTube series that I would really like to read. It's very popular and I would really like to read it to understand the hype. Now, the last 2 that I'm going to talk about, I have read the first books in the series, but I don't think I will ever read the next ones. And that is, first of all, the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I enjoyed Cinder when I read it, and I remember picking up Scarlet right away, but I never actually picked it up to read it. I have it on my shelves downstairs if I ever do want to read these again and get into the series, because it is a super beloved series. I just don't really want to. I'm not really interested in it anymore. Yeah, I enjoyed this one as a Cinderella retelling, but I just not interested in it. And the same vibe is the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. I read the first one and like I read it in like 2.5 hours in an ebook because it is so fast, and I was interested to see what it was, to see what the hype was, and I gotta say it's that brand of YA fantasy that just doesn't make sense to me. I would have probably really liked it in high school if I had picked it up then, but just no. A lot of this is just no. I don't think I will ever read the rest of those. It's probably not a hard, solid never ever. It's a really most definite never. And the last one I'm going to talk about is more of a recent release, and I'm not exactly sure if the entire thing has been released yet, but I am interested in these, even though I've heard a good mix of like negative reviews and positive reviews. It is the Wicked Saints series by Emily A. Duncan. And I've heard a lot of people really disappointed with this book, but then a few of my like close bookstagram friends have really liked it. So maybe. I've also been intrigued by the magic system in this book. One day. I do want to read these, but I'm not going to make them a super high priority, but I feel like they've been around on the book internets for a while. I scrolled through the internet for like a good 30 minutes trying to find a list of really popular YA books, and I saved them to my phone as I went to see all of those. I know there's ones like Matched was really popular at one point. Never read those, never will. I'm trying to think of others that are like more popular YA stuff, and I could like honestly this is the list that I amassed. So if there are any more, leave them down below. And maybe I'll do another part of this video if there's more of them out there. Maybe I'll do like a part 2 and do like just not series but YA books that I've never read, because there are many, many, many of those. As I was scrolling through the lists of YA books, I was like, oh gosh, I have not read many of these, and that's kind of bad, but it's fine. It's fine. We're just here for a good time. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of a mess of a video, but that's okay. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that stuff that YouTube tells you to do. And I will catch you in another video soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.